What's up, my Canadian cousins? Welcome back. Yep, returning to the Tragically Hip. Now, I did a few videos about them last winter. I think it was, I become a true fan of the band for many reasons. The music is just very good. Also, the age that I'm at, I believe that, the genre of this band would have been something that had I known about them, I would have grown up with, from my teenage years when they started in the 80s, coming of age during the 1990s and the 2000s. And the genre feels familiar to me. The band's music and their evolution feels familiar to me. And it's nostalgic too. So I've become a true fan, and I have a lot of their music. I have it digitally. I have a couple of vinyl that I bought. Road Apples, great album. And actually, someone gave this to me as a gift, which is a live album, Live at the Roxy, a double album. Awesome. But the other thing that I really like about them is that they tell Canadian stories. And so, you learn things that have gone on in Canadian culture and things that were important to the band through their music. And for me to have the context, I've learned a hell of a lot over the last year and a half of doing this, but not growing up there, not ever living there, I will always have a gap. And so, I really enjoy learning through music because I'm an amateur musician. I just love music as an art form, and I really like what the hip does in terms of singing Canadian stories, and that helps me connect to those stories a little bit better. So, a lot of the music I've listened to, I have enjoyed the music. I've listened to the lyrics. Some of them are self-evident about what they're about, and some aren't. Some are about, some things you can only know as a Canadian. So without further ado, I'm going to be getting to react to Wheat Kings. I do know that the song is about David Milgaard, and so, who was David Milgaard? I didn't know before I ever was introduced to the Tragically Hip. I do know now, and, I don't have to tell you who he is. He was obviously a young man when he was wrongfully convicted of heinous crimes of rape and murder. Spent the prime of his youth in prison, ultimately through tireless work of his mother and other advocates for justice and for advocating for those who were wrongfully convicted, ended up out of prison. But not only that, in 1997, DNA evidence conclusively exonerated him, and they did end up figuring out who did this crime. So it's an amazing story. I saw that he passed away not that long ago, sadly, and so I saw sort of a retrospective on his life and what he did as an advocate for the cause of justice and for advocating for, a better and mandatory review process on some of these convictions and the like. And, unfortunately, he had to go through the experience to be somebody who could be an effective advocate for the wrongfully convicted, wrongfully accused, but he did. He lived the life, he had the experience. He could have come out of prison embittered and, crawled into his hole and left society and felt betrayed, but he didn't. He did good with the time that he had left. And so you've got to admire that. Without further ado, I'm gonna play Wheat Kings. I've heard it many times, but this will be the first time listening to it with you folks after I've done my research about who David Milgaard was and what happened to him, and how Gord Downie and the guys reacted to it by writing this song. I still don't know what Wheat Kings means. Maybe I'll figure it out by the end of the song. And if not, I know you'll tell me, and that's what I love about this. Okay, my friends, I'll see you on the flip side.
On down in the Paris of the prairie, we kings of all treasures buried. And all you hear are the rusty breezes pushing around the weather vane Jesus. Zippo lighter, he sees the killer's face. Maybe it's someone standing in a killer's place. 20 years for nothing, well, that's nothing new. Besides, no one's interested in something you didn't do. We kings and pretty things.
So, you know, I have to pause so this doesn't get blocked from music. I don't know who's new to the channel, so I kind of give that caveat each time. Paris of the Prairies, he said in the beginning. So this happened in Saskatchewan, right? Yeah. And that is, Saskatoon is known as the Paris of the Prairies, if I'm not incorrect. I'd like to know why, and I do have on my list to take a look at Saskatoon at some point, and Saskatchewan in general.
Let's just see what the morning brings. There's a dream he dreams where the high school is dead and stark. It's a museum and we're all locked up in it after dark. The walls are lined all yellow, gray and sinister, hung with pictures of our parents' prime ministers. We kings and pretty things, wait and see what tomorrow brings. Late breaking story on the CBC. A nation whispers we always knew that he'd go free. They add you can't be fond of living in the past, 'cause if you are, then there's no way that you're gonna last. We kings and pretty things.
Yeah, I think, you know, when he said you can't be fond of living in the past like that, I think what he was saying was sort of what I was saying, that once David Milgaard went free, he did things that were very positive, constructive with his life, instead of just becoming an embittered hermit or something.
Let's just see what tomorrow brings. We kings and pretty things. Oh, that's what tomorrow brings.
Yeah, it's a great song. I mean, just musically, it's great, and I love the acoustic guitar. Who's playing that? Is that, don't kill me if I have this wrong, is that Gord Sinclair that plays the... All right. This is where John's editor, Johnny, has to step in and correct a grievous error that, of course, Gord Sinclair is the bassist, John. You call yourself a fan. Unbelievable. The acoustic guitar was none other than Paul Langlois, and my dog is wondering why I'm talking to myself. And he was playing the acoustic guitar, and on what I believe was a slide guitar would have been Rob Baker. So, error corrected. Editor steps in to save John some very bad embarrassment. That line, weak kings and pretty things, let's see what tomorrow brings. It's a hopeful song. It's a hopeful song. It feels like there's, pretty things. That's what tomorrow brings. David Milgaard had a good life after what happened to him. And it's a very positive message. I still don't know what weak kings means, though. Maybe it's just very lyrical and doesn't have a deeper meaning other than that Saskatchewan is in the prairies, right? And so I suppose there's probably a lot of wheat farms in that area of Canada, sort of the breadbasket of the nation. So maybe it's just meant to evoke the region that this story transpires in. But it's my best guess. All right, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Take care.
All you hear are the rusted breezes pushing around the weather vane, Jesus.